Hello and welcome to another tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to fill in PDF forms using our software, our free software Gimp. So the first thing I'm going to do is, as usual, I'm going to open a file. So I'm going to go File, I am going to go Open, and then I am going to find the PDF that I want to use. So I'm going to click on this one, PDF. Now, when you click on a PDF form, what will happen is all of the sheets in that file will come up here. Now, you can select them all and open them all as images, but if it's a large file, like for example the genealogy sets on the Genealogy Emporium site, what will happen is you will open like 180 sheets on your computer, and that will make the computer start lagging. So it's always better to just do one or two sheets at a time as you go along. So for this exercise, I'm just going to do one just to show you how it's done. So I'm going to pick this one here. You don't change anything there, just make sure Opens Pages has images is clicked. It generally is there already, but just in case it says layers, just make sure it's on images, and we are going to import it. Okay, so here is the page. Now, before we do anything else, we want to make sure that this page, the template, does not get affected or damaged or moved in any way. So we're going to go here where it says lock, and we're going to click on the little brush, on the little cross, and on the little square. Okay, so what this means is now I can literally go on top here as much as I want and nothing is going to happen. So if I was to get a pen and try and write on it, it's not letting me. So this is never affected. Okay, so that's the first thing. So now that we have protected our template, let's start with filling it in. So the first thing we need to do is we need to choose our writing. So first of all, we're gonna go here to the text tool, and we're gonna click it not just once but twice in order to bring up the details of the tool here. Okay, now in this detail area, you will see there's a little square that says text. If you click on that, it will give you the list of all the fonts that you have in your computer, so you can actually choose which one you want to use. Now obviously I have got like over 1,000 fonts because I'm a graphic designer. You will not have as many, but I am sure you will have something that you will like, and it will make this form really pretty. Now for this one, I've already chosen Billion Calligraphy. I've gone with size 80. You can always change these after. You can also change the color here. I'm going to go with the blue, so it's like I'm using a pen to write into the form. So okay, and everything else I'm leaving as it is. So now I am ready. I've created the font, I've set up the text that I want, and now I'm ready to start filling in the form. So first of all, I'm going to come here, and you see that little cross there. Okay, so there's that little eye there, so I'm just going to click just about here, and now I'm going to start writing the full name. So let's call this man, I don't know, Thomas Albert Shelby. I've been watching the Peaky Blinders. Okay, Thomas Albert Shelby, and now we go here to the move tool, and by clicking on the name, you see when you click on it, you'll see it highlights. I'm going to move it, and I'm going to put it where I want it. Okay, there, Thomas Albert Shelby. Now, I actually think that's a little bit big, so I'm going to make it smaller, and to do that, I can use the scale tool. So I'm going to click on the scale tool there, and I'm going to go back to the text and click on it. Oh, sorry, click on the text there, and I'm going to sort of drag it in a little bit. Okay. You can make it more or less. So I'm actually going to like squeeze it in. I think that looks pretty. So we're going to scale it. Lovely. So that has been completed. So now we go to the next line. Now we've got two options here. One is we duplicate that layer like this. So we go up to there, move tool, and we go back to this layer. We right click and we go duplicate layer. And now what you will see is if you click here on top, there are actually two layers of the same. And we can move it down. Okay. So we can move it down, but now obviously this is the nickname. So what we do is we go to text tool and we click inside of the layer that we're going to change, and it's going to say the layer you selected is a text layer, but it has been modified. So to edit it, it's going to create a different layer. So we're going to edit it and we're going to write whatever we want to write. So say that his nickname was Tobert, because he's Thomas Albert, so people used to call him Tobert. Right, so we're happy with that. We go again to the move tool, and now we can sort of move it to place. So we're going to click on it and move it to place. And now we can, again, using the scale tool, we can go into the thing that says Tobert and we can sort of squeeze it in so it sort of matches the others. Okay, and we go scale. So this is one way that you can use to carry on filling in the form. And another thing that you can do, instead of duplicating the layer, is you can use the text tool over and over again. So for example, I'm going to go here, text tool. I'm going to click it twice so it brings up the menu. Now we know we want this to be a little bit smaller, so let's change this 80 to a 60. And now let's go spelling variation of the surname. So let's pretend some people call them shell bites. Okay, so we've written that on. Now again we go into the move tool, we select the word, there, click there and there, and there you go, shell bites. Okay, so now we actually have the right size, so we don't need to keep using the scaling to make it smaller and bigger. So now we'll do the date. Let's do the same thing, text tool. Now because we're going to use the same size and the same font, we don't need to keep adjusting the details here because they stay the same. So date and place of birth, so 15th April 1880 in London. Okay. So now in this one, I might want to make it a little bit smaller. So here I go. Now you always go in this list here, click on the layer you've just used, on the text you've just written, which says there 15th of April 1880, and then you use the scale, click on it, and you can sort of adjust it and press scale. Okay, and so on and so on. So you'll fill all of these up with your details. Now say you want to add a picture, because we like to use pictures. So what we do is we go here, File, and we are going to go Open as Layer. Open as Layer. So we click Open as Layer, and we're going to use this picture here. Open. Right, and this is the picture. So then we use the Move tool to move the picture up. Okay, and now we're going to use the Scale tool to make the picture smaller and to fit on its size, on its side. Okay, Scale. So now we can move it. Lovely. Okay, and like this, we have now added the photo, and you can literally put the photo anywhere that you want. And you can even make it sort of wonky. I like wonky photos. So for example, if you want, you can use the rotate tool here, and then you just click here and you can just sort of make it wonky a little bit like that, one side or the other, because I think it makes it look a little bit funkier, for example. Okay, so now we've got the photo, and now once you are happy, we are going to save it. But now we're going to save this as an image. So we're going to go File, and we are going to Export As. Okay, we're not going to save, because if we save, we are saving the file with all the bits separate. Now we want the form completed so you can print it. So we're going to go Export, and then we are going to name these, for example, nephew 1, and then here you see what it says, select file by extension. Right, we're going to click on this plus here, and we are going to scroll down, and we are going to find the thing that says JPEG image here. Okay, and we are going to click export. Now on my files it already says there's already a file called that, but it's fine, I'm going to replace it. So you just press export. When you press export, this form will come up, and I don't want you to do anything to it. Just leave it exactly as it is and just go export. Okay, and now what will happen is you will have the form filled in as an image. So if you go into your folders, here we have nephew 1, and there it is. So the form ready for you to print. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you.